you realize that last year, Mr. President inaugurated the ECOWAS Parliament. It was very embarrassing that a country that has been said to be the giant of Africa cannot boast of having so that a country that prides itself as a giant of Africa cannot boast of a befitting place for your colleagues, for visitors outside, to say, look, we went to Nigeria, we went to Abuja, what we saw, we can say indeed that yes, Nigeria has shown, we cannot just be giant of Africa just by mouth. We must showcase it in terms of infrastructure and the rest of it. So anybody who was there that day would have said, look, in fact, if I knew, I would not have advised Mr. President to have come that day, to even come to that venue. But again, it was also good that Mr. President came and saw and then directed that, look, we cannot allow this to happen. So, my dear distinguished senators, I want to say, you may not have time to come to the other commission, but for whatever you are doing, I want to plead with you for the one of the International Conference Center and come and see with your eyes that indeed your support was not in vain. We are proud to say it, that we want to start on the 10th of June after the Salah, but when we went to the House of Reps, they pleaded that some of them were traveling for Hajj, and therefore if we can postpone that of the International Conference Center at least to the 15th, and which we have obliged them, I will also oblige you before you request for it, so that because we are all working together. But indeed, even if you want to go on your own, you go there and see what we have to do, and then you will say, yes, I'm happy that when I'm chairman of the FCT committee, when I'm a member of the FCT committee, this is what your support has turned out to be. So I commend you. These projects we are going to commission is not restricted to the city. It goes to the satellite town. For the first time, I pleaded, Mr. President, of all the projects you commission, you have to go to one of the satellite towns, whether in Gwagwalada, whether in Kwali, whether in Namak, whether in Buhari, so that the people would appreciate and see what you have done. It is very, very key. I am proud to say it, that this is the first time an administration has really cared for the satellite towns. The schools are there. The testimony is very clear. For me, seeing is believing. Go and see whether all they are saying is correct. It's not television talk. It's not live coverage talk. It is, I went, I saw. I can come back and say it is correct. On that note, sir, and I know you have accepted the invitation, even though the formal invitation will come through the chairman of your committee. Let me go a stretch and propose and talk about the 2025 statutory budget. The 2025 budget is aligned with the federal government budget parameters. The budget is accordingly prepared with the context of the medium-term expenditure framework, medium-term development plan, and the international public sector accounting standards. The budget also took into consideration the federal government's assumptions for the 2025 national budget, which is stated below. The budget proposal has also taken into cognizance the estimated revenue accruing to the FCT through the Federation account and recognizes other in-house efforts to boost revenue generation capabilities in the FCT. The focus of the capital budget is mainly, just like the chairman said, on completion of ongoing projects that have high impact on service delivery to the FCT residents. Now let me correct something here. When we mean ongoing projects, it's not that these projects were awarded by us. Projects that were awarded 2010, 2011, 2015, 2019. In fact, 90% of the ongoing projects are not awarded by this administration. But it's in line, it is intended with the focus of this administration that look, government is a continuum. These are public funds. We cannot allow projects to just be abandoned simply because you did not award the projects. Let's continue to finish the projects. Then we'll talk about awarding new projects. Everybody has this kind of, if I go now, they will say, are you the one who awarded it? The issue is not who awarded, the issue is who finished it. So that we understand that it is not, we are not saying 85% of ongoing projects we awarded. I can name all the projects. As I sit here, we are awarded by previous administrations from 2010 to 2023. And Mr. President directed that, look, you have to complete these projects. And that's why we concentrate on 15% for new projects. So I felt I should make a clarification on this. It's also instructive to note that the revenues accruable to the FCT are categorized into two: distributable revenue and non-distributable revenues. The distributable revenue refers to those revenue items, the expenditure of which are distributed across activities of secretariats, departments, and agencies that we call SDAs, while the non-distributable revenue refers to inflow of funds for dedicated purposes, such as the China Exim Bank loan for the Abuja Light Rail projects, the UBEC counterpart fund, earnings for COVID-19, Sukuk loan. So these are non-distributable. The only one we can distribute
here every now and then. The budget performance of FCT is commendable. But the most interesting thing is reduction in the personnel cost. Because whenever we are doing budget, people come, they increase the personnel cost. But you have reduced the personnel cost from 2024 to 25 by 21 billion. That is commendable. Secondly, you have more capital expenditure than recurrent. Recurrent is less than 30%, while the capital is over 70%. Commendable. Now, two questions I have for you. This issue of security, when you appeared before us last time, it was discussed. You are consistent, because what you told us then is what they are saying. But I think it should take time, because there's something you proposed then. You proposed interagency collaboration in terms of dealing with security situation in FCT. I think if you come up with a work plan on how these interagencies will work and go to Mr. President for approval, he will give it approval so they can be implemented. That's my first question. Then the second and the last one is, Honorable Minister, I would like to see during your tenure a world-class referral hospital in Abuja. World-class. The one we have was originally Children and Women Hospital that metamorphosed into the National Hospital. It's already outdated. I want you to leave to a legacy a world-class referral hospital in Abuja. I rest my case.
Commending him comprehensively for the turnaround of the FCT as a state capital, equating that with very serious capitals like Johannesburg and Cairo. My question, Mr. Minister, has to do with security. In 2011, there was this idea of bringing Abuja and its environs into a CCTV control with a control center at the National Police Headquarters. And there was an attempt, the contract was given to Chinese, and the infrastructure was actually being brought to Nigeria. And looking at this budget on page 6, I saw, in my estimation, a factory of 78 billion. How would you utilize that 78 billion in view of the very serious, challenging security situation of the FCT?
FCT is proposing to generate about 1.7 trillion. And out of the 1.7 trillion, 1.3 is the distributable revenue. That means these are revenues that are being generated from the services of the FCT, while 391 billion, these are loans and counterfund funding. So if you total the two, you have 1.7 trillion. This is the first time FCT is generating this type of money. And as I've said earlier, out of the whole amount, about 84% of it is going to capital. And out of the 84%, substantial, almost 75% is going for completion of ongoing projects. There is no doubt this is a very good achievement. And considering the fact that budgets from other organizations, you discover that the capital is almost 50% and overhead just another 50%. What FCT is presenting is one of the best budgets so far. And before I allow the floor for questions, and I would like also to note that the IGR proposed by the FCT has greatly improved. The FCT is proposing 608 billion naira just IGR. So this is something to commend the Honorable Minister and his state and his staff for doing a wonderful job. After saying this, I think I will allow the floor so that we can have one or two questions.
Yeah. Why are you laughing? Look, this is Senate. Don't be joking with us. Okay.
No boxing gloves.
No, he was my former friend, you know. Well, what you are doing is visible. It's not something hidden. So there is no need bothering to say that you are doing well. Everybody that knows where Abuja was 2 years ago and now know that we have done well. But my problem is every time, even yesterday my friend told me that Wike is doing fine. I say no, it is the Senate that is doing fine because without approving his budget, he cannot do anything. Now you have said it, and we will continue to support you in that regard. But my main observation, as I said, and it's serious, what distinguished Senator Ningi said, is about security. And I'm suggesting that instead of the police coming out at 4 o'clock to be causing go-slow, you should introduce picketing. They do that in Cairo. What I mean by picketing is that from 6 o'clock or 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening, you deposit or post police at every like 200 meters. in every street, there will be after 200 meters, there should be one police sitting down there or standing there till in the morning. That way, the presence of the police alone secures the night, and they can leave in the morning. That is very, very important. Secondly, about the issue of health. Even today, a patient was taken to Asokoro Hospital. They don't have that is what I don't know. You are not Minister of Federal Government, you are Minister of FCT. It's in the FCT. So no, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All of them are under you. So if it is just, or what of the Asokoro Hospital, is it under you or somebody else? Eh? Asokoro, I can see even your voices here. Asokoro District Hospital, please take note.
The district hospital?
Yes. They don't have, as it is now, they don't have MRI, they don't have CT scan. And I think this is something, I'm sure it's not, you are not aware. If you are aware, you would have done something about it, and you need to do something about it. Lastly, FCT, are you with me? It's about the indigents or the displaced persons roaming in Abuja. It is not enough as Nigerians driving them, arresting them. What you need to do is to do what the Kano State government did as far back as in the 70s. That is picking the indigents, if you know, and you have a camp where you can feed and train them so that they will be off the street. If you have something like that already, that's fine. But it's very important because before somebody comes to the street to beg, it means he has nothing to eat. So if you can have a camp that will provide them such facilities, train them, and then take them off the street through that transitional method, is better. It doesn't matter, but they are all Nigerians. Are you not coming from everywhere? That's my suggestion.
Chairman, my brother said a little bit about indigenous, or not indigenous, what happened in this is Federal Capital Territory. It's not like a state per state. It's not like a state per state you've got. This Federal Capital Territory. The way Kano, the way Rivers, the way Sokoto, the way Ondo will not be the same way that will happen in the FCT. Those you are talking about, they are not indigenous. They are not indigenous. People come from everywhere to just talk about the whole of FCT. And you are saying that because we should that people, if they have work, it's not correct. That those who believe that they will continue to beg. That is the truth of the matter. And we'll tell ourselves a simple truth. As a city like this, with the Federal Capital Territory, where you have all the international bodies where they reside, it will be difficult for you to follow that kind of pattern. And we don't want for us to say, let's keep them social areas and then train them for this job and that. The FCT cannot handle that. We cannot handle that and let the truth be told. As regards to health, MRI, in fact, as of yesterday, we had the FCT executive committee, which will approve that you go and buy CT scan and this thing, because the budget of 2024 will be ending in June. June ending. So yesterday, they will approve that there must be immediate procurement of the MRI and the CT scan. So that has been taken care of. Now, you talk about security. Also understand that this is where the president resides, where every corporate headquarters is here. The IG is here. The National Security Officer is here. The Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense Staff is here. We don't have that autonomy as for autonomy to take the entire security architecture of FCT to where the president is here. And so for you to take some of these security steps, you must work in synergy with the national security advisor. You cannot on your own. Mind you, don't have an assembly to make law. It's a national assembly.
This is the assembly now.
You know, what I'm trying to say is that it is not as easy as we are saying. If you go to House of Reps, if you go to the Senate, unlike where you have your own state assembly, where you can sit with them from time to time and say, look, we have this problem. So you don't put out like other states that you want to do this and it will be that way. Now, the CCTV you are talking about was never done by FCT. We have no hand in it. About the police something. Now we have sat down with the National Security Advisor, with the DGSSS, with the IG. Look, as where it is today, what do we do as per the total security of FCT? You cannot put CCTV on our own where the president stays, where the president works. It's not possible. And that requires the collaboration of the national budget and the statutory budget. And you know, we must tell ourselves the politics is too much. It's not easy. It's not easy. You know, even the security agencies, you know. Not to talk about just FCT. Somebody said even for me. Who told you that? Who told you that things are not difficult for me? But the point is, like I agree with you. And that's why at this level, when at that level they come, you can say, listen, the Senate said, look, why can't we have a CCTV in FCT? Why can't we? If on myself alone, it won't work. The politics is too much that somebody will sabotage it. We must tell ourselves the simple truth, you know. So I am pleading that if you can invite the security heads and then FCT, we'll sit down and then the Senate said, look, this is what should happen. Why are we not doing this? So you know our own problems. And like you said a picketing. Which law allows me to do picket? I'm not a labor thing. Even before the CP would do it, before the CP would do it, you know, he will seek approval from the IG. He will seek approval from the IG. Hey, these things are not.
Follow up, Chairman, follow up. Yeah.